Hello everyone out there. This is Talk to OBN show. I am your host Addis Asafa. My guest today is Dr. Mulugeta Debebe, General Manager of Osho, Oromo Self-Help Organization. Doctor, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure too for me.
All right. Can you tell me about your profile, about your background, career, family, educational status, so on?
Okay, I'm Mulugeta Debebe, General Manager of Oromo Self-Help Organization, and I have my PhD, let me tell you the last one, from Germany, North Germany, Dortmund, in political science. I used to head this organization before I went to Germany for my PhD, and when I come back also I rejoined the organization. Yeah, I have a family, a father of 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Osho was established in the year 1991, right? Who were the co-founder of Osho?
Yeah, Osho was established, as you said, in 1991. The founder,
29 years back.
29
right?
years back. The founders were, one of the founders, let me tell you, is the late Dr. Nagaso Gidada, the ex-president of Ethiopia, and even he was the one who established and also who had the idea of the logo. If you see in the logo, you see farmers, you see pastoralists, you see agriculture, and you see also livelihood activities. It's a very complicated one. With that ambition, Dr. Nagaso and his friends established this local NGO. Since then, Osho has done a lot of things.
Okay, can you mention some?
Yeah, Osho has worked almost in 11 zones of Oromia
And
and 39 districts, ANAs of Oromia. It has almost served about 3 million people with a budget almost near to 1 billion Ethiopian birr. Osho had almost more than 30 donors to accomplish this. We work in water, potable water supply. We work in a school building. We work in health also. We work in rural roads, and also we work in empowering women and youth in different districts of Oromia. To mention some, for example, Osho, if you ask me what makes Osho different from other NGOs, Osho always prefer to work in the peripheries, with the most disadvantaged communities. That makes it different. If I tell you one, for example, if you know Gololcha is a very remote district.
Actually, we do have 3 or 4 Gololchas in Oromia.
Yes, that's Arsi Gololcha. Yeah. Arsi Gololcha. That place had no road connection at all. Now it has road connection with Bale, it has road connection with Hararge, and the Arbaguga, Uraja, Abomsa. When we started working there, if I tell you, there was no road at all. You know, it took us almost 2 days to reach that Woreda, so that district. So there we worked almost a full package of service, schooling, lights, electric lights, potable water, irrigation, and also we created market for their coffee, opening the road from Gololcha, Michata to Chancho. Yeah, you know that place. Right, so it was a very remote place, you know. Even, people were giving you even goat for free because it's not marketable that time. Yeah, so Osho is doing this. And again, the most interesting part of the water project is this project where we are now. This is Fluoride Removal Technology Center. As you know, there are 16 million people in the Rift Valley affected by fluoride, excessive fluoride, than the permissible standard by WHO. So this technology removal was established something like 13, 14 years back. It was not easy to reach here. We use two technologies. One is bone char, you will visit it. The other one is HAP, we call it HAP. These technologies remove fluoride and helps us to supply potable water to the community. When we start particularly with the bone char, it was not easy job because we bring bone from slaughterhouses. So with this bone, it was very difficult to serve people, Muslim community and the Christian community. Because they question you, is it from the animal slaughtered by Muslims or bone slaughtered by Christians? So we had to teach, we had to struggle to convince bone. We burn this, we make it almost non-organic. Everything of animal is removed out, so it's like a stone. So it was not easy, but now we are successful.
Talking about defluoridation, you have received Boston Globe Award, right? Yeah. In the year 2015. Can you tell me about it?
In 2015, a journalist, I forgot his name, he came to Oromo, Ethiopia. And,
from which media?
Boston Globe.
Yeah.
Boston Globe. Boston Globe is a very huge global media. So he came here, he wanted to live with the community for a week and try how they fetch water. Yeah. He had to carry, pots of the pots at the back, and he tried for 2-3 days, and he couldn't manage living with them. Yeah, he was into it. Yeah, then he wrote. By that, really, we raised a lot of money. Again, with this technology center, we are among top 10 best practices in Ethiopia, awarded by CCRDA, Crystal Relief and Development Association. We were awarded a certificate and also, yeah.
Where do you get the financial aid?
Financial aids come mainly from abroad, from multilateral and bilateral organizations. If you see the logos here, you see USAID, HEX was Pioneer, European Union, and also bilateral organizations, embassies, we get from those organizations. The other one is we ourselves generate income. We generate income. This bone char, we provide it to the community, we sell it, the hub, we produce it, we sell it, and we raise money to revolve, to expand our service to these 60 million people. The other one is we have also printing, advertising, and business like that, event organization project. We also raise money with that because the charity organization, the charity proclamation allows civil society organizations to raise money.
Okay, good. You've said a while ago, Osho operates 11 zones of Oromia and 39 districts of Oromia, right? Yeah. Why you failed to reach other regions of Ethiopia?
Very good question, Getting fund, to tell you, getting fund for Oromia is very tough because every donor expects Oromia is a rich region, a very rich region. But to tell you frankly, if you take the data, there are so many needy people in Oromia. Go to Borana, go to Moyale, go to Hararge, the peripheries. You may know the resettlement, So but it is very difficult to convince people. For example, if I tell you one example, people at Lagatafo had no school, high school, because they are expected to go to Addis Ababa, Finfinne, because it's very close. So it was very difficult to convince donors to build school in Lagatafo and the Sabata area for those people, because it's like investing in Addis Ababa, you know. But they were the most disadvantaged.
Okay, good. You get those funds from Oxfam America, Care Ethiopia, Save the Children, UN, we can mention, you name it, right? But NGOs are being criticized because of a lack of accountability and transparency in managing the money, right? That fund. How is Osho on that regard?
Osho has actually, it has a board. Osho has a board, a governing board, and it has a general assembly. Every year you are accountable to the general assembly, the board, the community, and the back donors. As a local NGO, to be frank with you, the room for corruption for local NGO is very narrow, unless otherwise you spoil your name and go away.
Who are your auditors? I mean,
annually you have external auditors.
Who are those external auditors? From the government?
Private auditors. It's private auditors, and the donors themselves also audit our activities and the financial management.
How those donors check whether you really applied the given money to the proper place or not?
Not this time because of security and the corona. But periodically they come here, they stay with us, they go to the community, you can see it in the pictures, and they make follow-ups. And also there are reports. We produce reports every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year.
Okay, in which category do we put Osho? Is that a kind of humanitarian aid or development assistance? Because when we talk about the humanitarian assistance, it's given, I mean, the fund is generated to halt natural or man-made casualties, crisis, conflict, you see? When it comes to development assistance, like water development, resource management, and so forth.
You know, you can't differentiate. You start with relief, humanitarian aid, then first you provide them with food supply, then those people, you must rehabilitate them. Then you go to the rehabilitation schemes. That goes again to sustainable development, you know. You don't simply leave them, they are integrated actually. You start with relief, then we enter into the development activities. That's what has happened in many places. For example, if you take the resettlement program, the last resettlement, the most successful resettlement program, it was started by Osho. I'm proud of it because I was heading that team. Right. You might have gone to Chawaka and those places in the west. People who resettled from Hararge, Arsi, and other places. They are now very rich. They are owning even Isuzu cars, you know. So that was headed by Osho.
Okay, you used to work for government, right? Before,
yes.
And now you are general manager of Osho, right?
Yeah.
What makes, humanitarian career different from other occupation or tasks?
It's a good question. Before I worked for government, first as an NGO I joined Care International. Yeah. I have to acknowledge that where I learned a lot of things, I tell you. Then I came to Osho. What makes difference? You know, here you have the liberty, you know, to plan independently, decide and deliver your service to the most needy community. Yes. And you have the liberty. It depends on how you mobilize funds, you know. Yes. If you are able to mobilize funds, at least you can get satisfaction. You are not asking government for budget, and you are not really tied up with bureaucracy. Yes. So this gives you entire satisfaction, I tell you.
This might work for you, but most people in Ethiopia and in Africa as well look for NGO jobs because of promising pay, right? Not rendering service for the people, right? They prefer NGOs for promising pay. There is a kind of such assertion regarding job hunting in Ethiopia.
I can't deny that one, you know. You work hard, day and night, really, with the community. You get satisfied. Even, you know, you work over the week, it had involved in such a thing, it couldn't have survived for 29 years.
What has to be done to develop culture of philanthropism? Because in Ethiopia, this culture is not developed very well.
The communities themselves, they need to learn, they need to be educated what philanthropy means. And also they need to learn, you know, this dependency, to get out of dependency syndrome. Once you help them, you assist them, you work with them, they must be promoted to, you know, they must graduate from assistance, from help, and they must stand by their own feet. And again, the wealthy people in Ethiopia, I can tell you a story. An Australian man came from, he's a donor, he came to Ethiopia to see our projects and give us money, donate. Then he stayed in Sheraton. In Sheraton, there are BMW cars, Mercedes cars, and V8 cars. He asked me, who belongs, who owns these cars?
Luxury cars.
For me, I just responded proudly. There are Ethiopians.
Yeah, it's Ethiopians belonging, right? Yeah.
Then he said, but I'm driving a very old car, Land Rover, and still I'm donating. So I realized that I made the mistake, but I had to be frank with him.
Asked you to visit.
Then he visited. That's true. He denied. He refused to give us that money because he understood people in Ethiopia are not donating to, you know, local NGOs in their country, and they are not assisting people in their country. Only few, I can't generalize.
And which area would donors prefer to help? I mean, you have intervention areas, water development, natural resource management, repatriating refugees, schooling, I mean, building schools, and helping destitute, mitigating HIV/AIDS. In which area would those donors give or render money with great joy?
Yeah, mainly, you know, they want to give in soft areas, training, something like that. These hard areas, they say it should be the government's job. But, you know, government has a very scarce resource. Government cannot reach all the areas, you know, at a time. So it is very difficult, you know, to convince them to build infrastructures, schools, even water supply. They take it, you know, it's solely a government's job. So these soft areas, training, if you take geographic wise, most NGOs in this country, You can take the data from CCRDA. They are around Addis. Most of them are not going deep into the peripheries. Of course, there are some realities, there are some factors that does not allow you to go far. So overhead is one, security is the other thing, and the other one is, donors want to see what you worked here. So it's very difficult to take them to very far place to show them what has been done by their donation.
Okay, good doctor. How do you choose areas of intervention? For instance, this one is Mojo, right? Mojo intervention area, and you do have in Shashamane, in Borana, in Arsi Gololcha. You see, in what mechanism do you choose those intervention areas? What are the preconditions to be chosen?
To be frank with you, relief is guiding. I think the guiding road avenue to even for our development interventions. You start relief there. You want to cluster, you want to really trace, provide them with full menu. You want to take out of that disaster people in that relief area. That's what took us. For example, if you take Osho, we went to Borana as a relief operation, we went to Shashamane, Arsi, and Hararge. For relief.
Okay, before directly planting the NGO project, you trace with frequency data, right?
Yeah, actually we depend on calls from humanity.
Is that government who allocates those places?
No.
Intervention areas?
No. Government places request for all donors, for all NGOs, to enter in certain areas where there is a relief and a rehabilitation requirement. So following that, you go, you assess, and you solicit funds, and as you go into intervention.
Good. What are the future directions of Osho?
Future directions is
Your plan.
Our plan is to enhance our activities in all aspects, particularly focusing on livelihood. Osho is not a kind of organization that runs only after funds. If somebody comes and gives us money and wants to take us out of our focal area, we don't go, because we cluster one area. We try to provide them with full menu in that area: food, livelihood, livestock, education, health, access road. So then we want that to replicate in the other districts. So our future plan is mainly to focus on livelihood, environment, and particularly working with the pastoralists.
Doctor, I am really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, you have been watching Talk to OBN show. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.